don't think he was rage baiting. I think he really meant that. He really thought he ate with that.
Welcome on another episode, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think it was last 2 months or 3 months that someone came online and said that we should start a campaign that podcast equipment should be sold at a very high rate, because the way people go on this podcast and say some certain things is very, very crazy, especially the red pills business conversation that goes viral every now and then. The conversation has shifted from asking women what do they bring to the table. It has shifted to another thing that literally got my jaw dropped. Like, when I heard what this man asked the other lady on this podcast, I was so freaking shocked. And so many people are shocked as well that you all are moving this conversation from what the women bring to the table and now asking this embarrassing and weird question. This man has a question for a single mom on a podcast, and what he has to be the viral biggest question on TikTok right now. I don't know if it's trending on Twitter, but I know it will get there. But this question seems to be the biggest question on TikTok right now. Without wasting much time, let's just get right into it.
Okay, let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you?
I would never date a man that ever asked me no craziness like that.
See,
I would never.
But
Because you would never ask me how my kids would be an asset to you.
That's the thing.
That's insanity.
But see, I'm coming from a logical standpoint. You
I
have
don't
to ask
think
those questions.
any woman
And let me say one more thing.
is going to let you say, how can your kids be an... No, sweet.
Let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you?
I would never date a man that ever asked me no craziness like that.
See,
I would
I'm gonna tell you right now, any man that's gonna ask you a question like that thinks that he's doing you a favor by dating you as a single parent, and you should be grateful. And that's how he's going to treat you and your children, as if y'all should be grateful that he is willing to tolerate you and your offsprings. Okay, I would never, like, what can your children, what benefit are your children to me? What the like, honestly, what kind of question is that even? And as a woman, any woman who thinks that this is an acceptable question, I want to know, what answer would you give someone that asks you that? Because to me, now I automatically know my children are not safe in your presence, and I would never allow my children to be around you. I would never bring anyone into my home that feels like, well, if I'm gonna date you, what benefit are your children to me? To you? What the fuck? What do you mean by that? Like, I really can't wrap my mind around it, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean, what benefit are they to you? What benefit are you to them? What benefit is me bringing you into our lives are you gonna have for them? It's one thing to say what benefit is the woman that you're dating to you. You know what I'm saying? But to say what benefit are your children to me is very fucking weird and very fucking creepy. Men are getting creepier and fucking creepier, and I can't take it. I cannot.
let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you?
I would never date a man that ever asked me no craziness like that.
And this is why women need to be careful of the kind of men they allow into their lives, because any man that would make you feel like your child needs to be an asset to him should be a red flag. Are you dating the child, or are you dating the child's mother? These are the kind of men that try to make a woman feel like she should be lucky that a man like him would have her when she has these children. But if you make the kids feel like that, how lucky is she? I don't know if he was aware of what he was saying or how it sounded when the words left his lips, but this sounds predatory. I'm sorry, but it does. So when she's no longer useful to you, what exactly do you want her kids to do for you? So you're coming into this single mom and her children's lives, making the kids feel like the only way I'll stay and be with your mother is if you all help make me happy. And how exactly do you think they're going to do that? And just because clearly somebody needs to hear this, children are not meant to be assets. It's not their job to make you as an adult happy. If you don't have the capacity to care for children without making them feel like they owe you something, don't date a single mom.
Do you want to hear the absolute worst question going around the internet right now? As a man, how are your kids an asset to me? I honestly thought the bar couldn't get any lower, but the internet proves me wrong. Someone asked a woman this on a podcast, and he was standing 10 toes down She replied properly though. She said she would never consider dating a man who would ask a question like that. This is a step further than what do you bring to the table. Our kids have to bring something to the table too. Anyone who sees children as assets should not be allowed to be around children. And I don't think he was rage baiting. I think he really meant that. He really thought he ate with that. And if I see a single man or woman defend him on my page, you're getting blocked automatically. No questions asked. I hope this man is single without kids. Don't get him around any kids.
Some of you take the things you say way too far. Why would you ask a woman how her kids are going to benefit you and or be an asset to you? Are you dating her or are you dating a kid? Only thing you need to worry about is if that woman is going to love you. If you don't want to love someone that has kids, then don't even have a conversation and or just be upfront with them. But to sit up there and have the audacity to ask them how the kids are going to benefit you is crazy. Once again, if you're dating someone and you become step parent, you have to understand that that kid is going to be more important than you. If you're okay with that, then cool. And I know where the thoughts come from. You hear people say, well, my first choice isn't to date somebody with kids. There's nothing wrong with that preference, especially if you don't have kids. But that doesn't mean you go downplay single parents, whether it be a man or a woman. Just because you have a preference doesn't mean you need to downplay people that aren't your preference. But to expect a return in your investment from a child is wild to me.
What do you guys think about that question that man was asking that woman on that podcast? And he was standing 10 toes down, like he was saying something, asking a very reasonable question. Like the fact that he felt so comfortable to even say that out loud, there has to be an investigation done on this man, because that is the craziest part of it all. That question is the clear example and one of the reasons why these women were still picking bear few months ago. This man was dead as serious, asking how kids are going to be of an asset to him. Kids that I know have always been a liability, not an asset. So he's literally thinking, okay, what should the answer be? Like the lady was asking on the streets, like, what do you want the woman should say? Let's say a woman say, okay, I want to answer this question. Like, what exactly is he expecting from the woman? Like, what would the women even say if they want their kids to be an asset to the man they want to marry, because it is not making any sense. If you think that question is crazy, the confession in the comment section is even sending me, because people are literally spilling some tea. This person said, one of my older brothers said that if he is with a woman with girls, he should be able to have with the girl. I never let him be around my kids. Like, what? Another person said, yes, a male friend of mine, when I had my first baby girl, said, be careful because a man will try to get with you to get to her. It is eye-opening. Another one said, it sounded like, what are you willing to allow me do to your children in order to date him? As if he is the prize. Exactly. This person said, I wish my mom can hear that final part, because my stepdad, now that I am an adult, treats me as if I am a maid, and when I ask for basic respect, roommate etiquette, he flips it on me as if I am a bad guy. Another one said, someone said he should go outside, walk 3 blocks to the police department and ask the same freaking question and see the reaction, because what in the name of the question is that? That should not even be asked. This person said, I really want to know what his friends had to say to him after he was made public, because what do they think about the question that this man is asking? Will they still allow him around their kids? Because this is very delicate, whether their kids, male or female, are they still going to allow this man around their kids? Another person said, so when have children ever been an asset? They have always been liabilities, no matter who they belong to. This one said to me, it is not even that the question was predatory, it is that it was a sign of him buying so much into the alpha male. What do you bring to the table? Nonsense that he's even trying to apply it to. The last one said, ultimately, most men do not parent. Their fatherhood is centered on the return of investment. Marriage and kids are mainly investment to them. That is legacy for when they get old, to have a carer or an ego boost socially. That is the absolute truth. Let me hear what you guys think about this bizarre question, because this man, it needs to be effing for real, because this is not making any sense. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one.